people of the universe.
You're tuning into the It's Not a Podcast. It is me, Philip the Jr.
And your boy, Blkcz.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing, man? Blkcz, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. And yourself, sir?
Ooh, on the struggle bus just a little bit, but the blessings I have now from prayers that I had years ago. So I'm gonna let that sit.
Oh, glory.
Yeah, man. So how's the weather over there? Because I'm pretty sure it's starting to get around 30 degrees, 20 degrees Celsius at this point. Is it
20 degrees? Nah, that 20 degrees Celsius would be perfect right now. It's in the realm of Celsius.
0 is freezing, 100 is boiling.
It's like 11 or 12 right now, which for those Fahrenheit at present it is 49 degrees.
I think the rule is to add like 34 to it. I think generally if you add somewhere around 30 to 34, 35, it will give you an idea. That's a cheat sheet. I think
something in that realm maybe, because I know like 20 is in the 70s, so that kind of throws that
okay.
off.
I'll have to find it, but at any rate, yeah, man, it's starting to feel like fall over here just a little bit. It's getting cold as crap in the mornings. It's in the 50s in the morning, but it'll work its way back up to the mid 70s, high 70s. Been at the beach the past 2 weekends, and mornings. Well, the first weekend I went, the morning wasn't bad at all. It was probably like in the 60s, but last weekend, it was brutal in the morning compared to what it was in the afternoon. It was like 45 in the morning. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, that last little bit of let me pack my shit up in the morning and head out, get on the road. I was like, nah, dude, we finna turn this heat on right quick.
Yeah, man.
But
so it's been like that for it's been chilly, good hoodie and a thick vest weather for the last 2 weeks, give or take. This week we had a decent bit of rain, so that didn't help it being any warmer. So yeah, the heat been on. I cut the heat on 2 weeks ago, I think.
Right now, what I do is so at night I will turn my heat on, but my thermostat has a timer, like you can program it to come on at certain times. Yeah. I have it set where the heat is on, but it's like at a low temperature, so it don't cut on. Yeah. But then at like 4:15, 4:30, I have it turn on to like 73 because the bathroom be cold as shit in the morning. So it's easier to just go ahead and let the house heat up. So when Kim is in the shower and I get in the shower on Tuesdays when I go into the office, it's not cold. But then if I'm at home after they leave, I go ahead and turn the heat off and just have no air or heat on throughout the day. And then I'll turn the air on just a little bit when they get home from school, because by then it's like 74 in the house.
Okay.
Or I'll just turn on fans because I got a fan on in my office, so I just turn my fan on to keep me cool.
Yeah, and see, I do like almost the reverse of that. I only have the heat on while we're up because we have pretty thick blanket comforter, cover, whatever you want to call it, for the bed. And I'm as soon as it get cold outside, I'm hoodie to the bed until it's hot.
So you sleep in a hoodie?
Yeah, man, it is superb.
So okay, so you see, I have a hood on, not my ones, but this is a short sleeve hoodie. I do this in the bed, but I can't do a long sleeve hoodie.
Man, that shit clutch city, man.
Because I like to have the covers pretty much to right here.
Oh, and see, I can't breathe under the covers. I need these nostrils need to be able to get as much air as possible, and the covers they let air out. You can breathe under the covers, but it ain't flowing right, and I'll be had a panic attack.
Speaking of air and flowing and breathing, sent you something. I was wondering, 4 people you want to be with in a smoke session.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Quattro.
So you'll be a fifth.
Let's see. I would want Dave Chappelle there. I would want
David Chappelle. By the way, his special was phenomenal.
Yes. Let's see. So I got Dave on there. I am interested in having a chat with Pharrell, even though I'm not sure that he partakes, but I think he wouldn't be super opposed to being in the room. So let's see,
yeah, we'll assume that everybody in this conversation is gonna do it in this situation. They may not do it in their personal lives, but
yeah.
So while you ponder, I have at least 2 people I know for sure. I would want to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a world-renowned, I guess, astrophysicist. I can't have a top 4 list having a conversation without saying Will Smith. But he just went on an ayahuasca journey, so I don't know how much weed is gonna do to him, because once you meet the mother, that's pretty much it. This is gonna sound crazy, but I think I would want to talk to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan in a conversation. I think that'd be pretty dope. In the last one, just because I've been hearing her name a lot lately, Adele.
Yeah, like
even though Farrakhan probably would have an issue with that, but
I don't know, man. Like he comes off as if he doesn't have necessarily an issue with individuals, but more so
the system.
You know what I'm saying? The system in which certain individuals from certain groups uphold, I should say.
Right.
So I got my 2. I got Pharrell and I got Dave.
It's funny when you're having a conversation and you have a conversation, you make a statement, and then you have to have a conversation about the statement that you made, as far as like, wait a minute, am I using this past tense correctly or incorrectly?
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person, I like to, no matter what, I like to add I to make things plural just for the hell of it. And like verticide instead of vertices. Like I'm pretty sure I've always heard it be called vertices, but like verticide just sounds cooler.
Yeah. I think for one more person, it would be Nas, and I think my final person would probably be it's rough between, because I'm trying to.
So you would want 2 people from the music industry in there, but even though I know Pharrell is more of a producer, Nas is more of a rapper, but I feel like Nas, you might want to pick his brain about some of his business ventures too. Because
no, really just to have a chat with him. I'm just curious how he's wired, and it's more like, I think it's cool that he does the business venture thing, but for me, it's how he constructs the stories that he tells in his raps. That's what I'm curious about, is how I just want to have a conversation with him to see, how he's wired, to get a better understanding of how those things formulate the way they do.
So you gonna ask him about Ether?
No, I probably would ask him about Rewind.
I don't. I'm sure I've heard it, but I didn't know that's the name of the song. So
yes, it's
I'll
on the
go back and check it out.
same. It's on the same album with Ether, the Stillmatic album. He tells a hitman story in reverse.
So Ether was not a mixtape or like a freestyle situation. It was an actual song.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. I do think I knew that because every time I see it, it's always, it always says like the Stillmatic.
Yes.
It has the
Stillmatic cover is
Stillmatic.
associated with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking about Lil Wayne with all these damn mixtape albums.
Yeah, like it was on mixtapes, but it was an actual song, just like what you call it was Takeover, which was the song. It was like both Takeover was on Blueprint, and Ether was on Stillmatic, and they both came out, I want to say, within the same physical year.
Yeah.
And my last one, I'm going to Angela Bassett.
Man, listen. All due respect. I feel like she smells good. I feel like her pH balance is in check, and that is probably the most PC way I can put it. And I'm pretty sure that some feminists would say that I am objectifying her, but there are certain people that just look healthy, and I would like to smell them. And maybe it is a kink of mine. So if y'all got a problem with it, you're kink shaming, and I feel impressed. So there's that. Cool. So it's so in this conversation you brought up Stillmatic, and now it made me think about our conversation the other day about classic movies. And now I'm gonna take the podcast in a different direction because it's not a podcast, it's actually a conversation. You already know the situation I'm in when it comes to classic movies, and more often than not, classic albums. We're gonna touch on the movies real quick, but what are 3 classic albums that you feel every person should listen to?
Aquemini, Reasonable Doubt, and
You want to put Bad in there? But I feel like but you know what? Okay.
Off the Wall.
I feel like with Reasonable Doubt and Aquemini, there are gonna be songs in there that people haven't heard. But I feel like if you're just a normal person that listens to music here and there, you've probably already heard every single song from Off the Wall. Because I feel like, that was a time where like albums only had like 8 tracks on there or whatever. And I'm not talking about an 8 track, but they had like 8 songs on it.
Well, Off the Wall, I'm pretty sure was 13 tracks. Off the Wall is by far his best album. Fight Me.
All right, so Off the Wall had 10 tracks. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Working Day and Night, which you can't go wrong with that. Rock With You, Get on the Floor, Off the Wall. I don't think I've heard of that. Girlfriend, don't think I've heard that one. She's Out of My Life, I Can't Help It. It's the Falling in Love, and Burn This Disco Down. So I've heard 80% of the album, I believe.
Yeah, like Off the Wall it's like that. And for me, those are classics, and I feel they are timeless for what most would call their B-side tracks, the ones that don't get the radio play. Like
real quick, that came out in 79, bro.
Correct. August
That
10th, I believe.
that shit is gonna be here till 2079, or at least I hope it is.
Like for any listeners who may call themselves a fan of Outkast, if you have not heard Liberation, you are not a fan. Full stop. Jay-Z's The Evils.
The Evils.
The Evils. The apostrophe evil.
Okay.
I listen to that and I still hear new stuff in there. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, bring it back.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you know what I'm saying? Like the longer you listen to it, the more stuff gets unlocked. And off the wall, it doesn't get the same allure as Thriller.
Yeah.
But there are, like, that is a solid album. Like everything on there is worthwhile.
Now I will say this though, I'm looking at the track list for Thriller, and Want to Be Starting Something, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller. Then on side 2 is Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, Lady in My Life. I mean, that's a solid album, which I mean, you know, but I still understand your point. I think for me, like 3 classic albums, definitely you have to go with Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. And I'm a man, listen. That album, I think that was out the semester that you and Brandon left. So I was listening to that spring of 2008 a lot. And I was going through a breakup and I was just an emotional wreck. And that album got me through it. So that, and plus I just think it's a really good album anyway. I think that The Love Below. Gotcha. The Love Below. Okay, so that came out in 2006, but I feel like it was hitting, I feel like it was touching my soul more so when I had more shit going on than when it first came out.
Just like Adele. Most people relate to 19. Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
But it had been out.
She got that emotional girl winter coming out of some shit like that, they called it. You know, everybody got that hot girl summer. We finna bring emotions back to it. But no, so Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. I would say Love Below by Andre 3 Stacks, 3K, 3000. And then man, listen, I know, but Cisco's solo album, man, listen, go.
A classic?
Yes. And maybe it's my bias showing, and I try to keep it covered up like my underwear. Maybe. You know, I don't like my underwear to show when I wear clothes. But
put Cisco into the fact that you put it in the same list with Back to Black speaks to your bias.
Listen, okay. Don't
change your list.
No. I'm not changing. I'm not going to change my list. I'm going to politely ask you to go and just listen to some of the album.
And I will.
Cool. All I can do is just ask. You feel me?
But you have set the bar. So I'm expecting Back to Black energy. And if I don't get that in the first 3 tracks, I wish I had the CD version. So I could
just like I got it. I want me to mail it to you.
I'm gonna put that shit in the microwave for 3 seconds and watch that bitch arc up.
Look like Jubilee in this bitch. Oh, X-Men reference.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
You know, I know a little bit. Now, speaking of that, nice transition. What are 3 classic movies everybody should watch? And let's do this. Let's do 3 classic dramas, chick flicks, like more serious movies, and then we'll do 3 classic comedies.
Okay. For the dramas, Best Man, The Wedding Planner, and
You said Best Man, The
yeah, The
Wedding.
Wedding Planner.
Is that the one with J-Lo?
Yeah, that movie
Okay.
is good. Okay.
No. I just want to make sure I knew which one you were referring to because I think
And
I'm confident I've seen it.
I'm trying to think for dramas, man. Um,
When I say drama, I say non. I mean like non-comedy. So I guess technically you could put an action movie in there.
okay. The Rock with
The Rock,
Sean Connery and
Sean Connery.
and Nicolas Cage.
Okay. So are you a Shawshank fan? Because I feel like you and Brandon have referenced Shawshank before.
It was a good movie, but I ain't,
Okay.
yeah, it was a good movie, but I'm not want to rewatch it when I see it. It's not, it don't pull it, I don't get pulled into it. It ain't Lion King.
We're not going there. So non-comedy movie, Gone Girl. Just for the twist at the end, I am to this day thoroughly upset at how it ended, and I love it. This is one of the things that I love about Game of Thrones, or loved about Game of Thrones. Is like there was always the unpredictable with stuff, and I like a good movie that can give me some unpredictable. So I would definitely say that. Sandlot is a classic.
Yes,
That
Sandlot is a classic. Yeah,
um,
I would like to amend my list.
you just it's timeless. I don't know at what age I want to watch it with Kingston, but um, we're gonna sit down and watch it. Yeah. Like it gotta happen.
Man, it's just I don't know. Like maybe how I listed my movies was based on the parameters that I thought I heard, but yeah, Sandlot is definitely on there.
Well, okay, so would you classify that as a comedy? Because I mean, if you would classify it as a comedy, then I would understand
why some funny shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know it's not intended to be a comedy though, and I think that's what you have to base the genre on is its intent.
Right, right, because you got scare movies that can be damn near comedies.
Exactly. Like because one that I left off was Goonies. Like to me, the Goonies is like everybody needs to watch the Goonies at least once.
So I'll take out Sandlot and we'll do a childhood movie list.
Oh, bit. All right.
And you have to do 2 live action movies and 1 animated, because nowadays, like, quick rant about the movie industry right now. When we were growing up, you had a lot of live action movies for kids. Now, as I think Toy Story probably was Lion King, Toy Story, somewhere in that range.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
You start.
Oh, you say animated? My bad.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, am I tripping? But but when Lion King and Toy Story started coming out, you started to see more of the animated. Let's get famous people do voiceovers instead of having kids do the actual movie. And so now you don't see kids movies like that anymore. You just see, or live action kids movies, you just see your Pixars and your animated things. But as far as drama, non-action, non-kids movie, Gone Girl would have to be one. I say Scarface, even though I haven't seen it from start to finish. But I would say Scarface. And a third, I guess I probably should have thought about this all the way through when I posed the question, but I can't really think of a third right now because I'm not as much of a movie buff. Oh, yeah. Green Mile.
Okay, all right. So
No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take. What was the second movie I said? I said Gone Girl,
Scarface was the
Scarface.
one, yeah.
So I'm gonna take out Scarface. I'm gonna go Green Mile for number 2 and number 3, A Time to Kill.
Ooh. Now, and see that, okay, and I'm sure the listeners are gonna be like, man, he's going back and forth and shit.
It's not a podcast, it's a conversation.
But let's more targetedly break these down.
Okay.
Comedy or chick flick, that'll be
chick
one.
Flick. Okay.
Drama will be one.
Emotional
action will be one. Like drama is emotional shit.
Right.
Action, shoot 'em up, bang bang, and then
comedy.
All right, because look, hey,
I'll make this
Time to Kill. That should be everybody number 1 on their drama list.
So I'll make this quick for the kids. Animated movie, you got to go with Toy Story or Lion King. Live action, I'm gonna go Sandlot and Little Giants, or you can go with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and The Indian in the Cupboard. What you know about that? You feel me?
Indian in the Cupboard,
bro. That was my jam, man. But I also, ditto. But I also feel like it should be indigenous people in the cupboard now. I feel like
in the 90s was a wild time. What can we say? The 90s was a wild time. It was overflowing with ignorance.
Halo. Shit. Yeah. Drama, Time to Kill, Rosewood, and The Green Mile.
Damn. See where your head at. Okay. What was the first category? You did kid movies the first?
Yeah.
All right, kid movies. Check me out. We're gonna do Toy Story.
That's your one animated. You got
it. Oh, it's just one animated in the kids.
Yeah, because I feel like animation would dominate.
I was gonna be like Land Before Time.
real N-word is because you said Land Before Time, you can do 1A and 1B.
Okay, all right.
There you go. All right.
For kids movie, oh man, I don't know if you remember this. Was it The Great Navigator or The Great Voyager, where the little boy found the spaceship, and he was friends with the alien? That shit was like that.
Okay.
I think it might have been Great Navigator or something like that.
Nah, I don't think I heard of it. Great Navigator movie. Have you seen the movie where the kids had to save their parents from being inside the TV?
Flight of the Navigator was the name of the movie. It came out in 1986.
Flight of the Navigator. I feel like I have seen this.
And you said the movie where the kids had to save their parents? I feel like, yes, I have seen that. Have you ever seen what's called Night with the Babysitter? Or Adventures of a Babysitter, when this blonde, she was a cute lady. Adventures.
Are you talking about Christina Applegate?
I think so.
Yes, great movie.
Let me see if that's actually her No, Elizabeth Shue.
Nah, I ain't seen it.
Never?
No, I'm sorry, it's not ringing the bell. You said Babysitter? What's the name of it?
Adventures of Babysitting. These are the cast.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
Man, that's a good movie. But that's just me, man. I be on the cult classics, that kind of shit. Okay, all right, let me go back. So Toy Story, Land Before Time, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, one, and my last kid movie would be Sandlot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love the Goonies, Sandlot. Honorable mention, the Goonies. For drama, definitely Time to Kill. Hunt for Red October. Oh, nope. I'm scratching Hunt for Red October and I'm putting the Crimson Tide in this place. Shout out to Denzel. Roll Tide. And another drama that I thoroughly enjoy. Basic.
What is that?
Basic is it is a drama thriller with Samuel Jackson, John Travolta, where this basically this unit of special operators, they are on this training op and they vanish. Okay. And everybody's trying to figure out what happened to them. It's a really good movie. And then when I get into action, it's going to be Enter the Dragon.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. That was a
Lone Survivor.
I'm kind of jealous. Lone Survivor. Okay.
That's the one with Mark Wahlberg where he was a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Do you remember
it? Vaguely, yes.
Okay. Typically, the one scene everybody recalls is when they had to jump off of that cliff, and like the whole unit had to jump off this rock face, no parachute. But it was that or be tortured by a group of violent, let's just call them herders. And The Rock. Like The Rock is that is my fucking movie. It's like my favorite movie of all time.
I am trying to find this movie, but I can't, and it's gonna piss me off.
And for the whole chick flick thing, I'm going to say The Wedding Planner. But it's kind of I guess it's a chick. It was supposed to be a comedy, but what do you call the maid of honor? Not maid of honor, but
Matron of Honor.
It was one of those funny movies. They had McCarthy in it, and they were all the who is the bride's clique at the wedding?
Those are called bridesmaids.
That is the name of the movie. That is the name of the
movie.
Okay. I was having a moment. I apologize. And let's see, what is another movie that really had my where I had to scream at the TV? I'm not crying, you're crying.
I think chick flick. I don't even really watch chick flicks like this. I guess Gone Girl could be considered a chick flick. I mean, I guess.
I'm pretty sure if I don't care what streaming platform you go to, if you go to the category of and it's a chick flick, that shit ain't gonna be in there. There's something else that I've seen recently that really had me, or did I? Let's see. The Wedding Planner, man, it get me right every time, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only movie J-Lo did some decent acting there.
All right, so
I don't know for the third one, man.
All right, so I'm just gonna go to comedy because I can't think, and I know we probably gonna have a good bit of. I feel like comedies probably can be the most. What's the word I want to use? Mom and Dad Save the World is the movie I was talking about.
Mom and Dad Save the World. Let me see.
Yeah, like they end up in. It's crazy, man. Like they end up inside. It's just a bunch of crazy shit going on. And like they're like in a different world. It's fucking crazy, but it's hilarious. Excuse my language. Comedy. I have to go Friday. I have to go Anchorman. And I want to go Talladega Nights, but I don't want to do two Will Ferrell movies back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Friday. I'm gonna go Anchorman, and you know what? Just to make it a little spicy, Liar Liar.
Okay. Comedy. Next Friday.
Break your knuckle. Say it again.
Ladies Man.
I know this.
Leon Phipps, the ladies man.
Man, listen, he don't get enough credit as
Not at
a
all.
writer / producer.
Not
Because what is his name? Tim Meadows. That N-word is in everything.
Man.
And your the cousin on Fresh Prince was in that movie.
Hillary.
Yes. Will you marry me?
And my last comedy, I'm trying to think of something that just really just had me. Oh, how could I not? Grandma's Boy.
So let me talk about this real quick. I just watched Grandma's Boy within the past month and a half. To this day, that shit is still funny. When he said, "Shit's weak, son. Shit's weak." I mean, that shit had me rolling, bro.
I mean, sir, that scene where when he in the bathroom and the mama walking in on him, he said, "I can't stop."
Bro, did you know that the love interest in that movie is actually in the live action Scooby-Doo movie? Yes, she plays Velma. I think it is.
Oh, Velma hit now. Velma's the nerdy one.
Yeah. You know, so it's the glasses. That's all it is. It's the glasses for me.
Oh, yeah. Linda Cardellini or something like that. So question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we leave 40-year-old virgin off? You know what? We're terrible purveyors of movies.
Because you want to know why? Because this was on the spot. We were ill prepared. Now, to my listeners out there, if I haven't bored you yet, next time we have a list, we will make sure we have our list written down beforehand. And we had time to ponder. But I feel like, I feel like these are the conversations that people have, shit happens.
Hey, man. Hey, 40-year-old version is by far a classic comedy. You ain't told me nothing.
Nah, I mean, it's a solid, good comedy. I feel like it's one of those that you can movies that you can still watch and not feel like it is a task to watch.
Yes,
that lets you know when it's a good movie because it's a
that
lot
Kevin
of
Hart scene to this day is hilarious. When he come in there, he was like, you know what?
Yeah. But also I feel like that's when he kind of started his gimmick.
Yeah. Well, that and between that and did you ever? I doubt that you saw this movie, Paperboy. Paper Boys, Paper Soldiers. I'm tripping. Paper Soldiers. Yeah, Paper Soldiers. It was a Rockefeller movie. It was and he was in that. And he was funny in that. That came out before Soul Plane.
Oh wow. Yeah, Kel been in the game for a minute. I've heard of it. Oh, this got Stacey Dash in it though.
Before we knew she was before we knew that she liked to express a different opinion.
Boy, if you didn't put a bow on that Christmas gift. Oh man, Stacey Dash though. My God.
You know what? I always say Jordan is the one suited for being a politician, but you know what? I might have this down.
You at the very least you can write some speeches, or you can do some debate prep with some comebacks.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. It's that little clip from Lil Boosie. You might let yeah. Comedy, you beautiful mother.
Man, real quick. Speaking of Bootsy, transitioning to Louisiana, man. Shout out to Grambling, man, and RIP to the life that was lost last weekend at homecoming, man. Y'all gotta stop with the violence. The two lives. I'm sorry, forgive me. The two lives that were lost last week at homecoming, man. That shit is crazy.
Also, RIP to Dunbar Hall.
Excuse me?
I didn't send that to you.
Don't upset me yet. Just wait till the end of the podcast, man. Fuck me, man. With that being said, did you watch the Dave Chappelle special?
I did, and in my humble opinion, this is probably his best work.
Okay, so this conversation is not going to be specifically about his stand-up special. Because if we were to talk about it, I definitely would want to have Brandon on the show for that. But have you ever been offended by a joke? You personally, have you ever heard a comedian say a joke and been offended?
There has been some cringe-worthy jokes, but offended is more for me. It's cringy because I know for some it's going to actually trigger and hurt them.
You know, there's going to be some type of backlash behind it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like because there's some like what's that one redhead comedian, man? Not is it Carlson? I can't remember his name right now. But he said some stuff that has had me like, that's not gonna go over well. There's Michael Rappaport, but he's in the same vein.
There's a dude named Anthony Jeselnik.
Bill Burr.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Bill Burr is a dog in every sense of the word. He don't. But Anthony Jeselnik, his shtick is saying all kind of wild stuff like, put a baby in the microwave, like random shit like that. But again, that's his shtick. Nobody, which okay, small bit. It's okay for Anthony to make crazy jokes like that about putting a baby in the microwave, but when David Chappelle makes a joke, fill in the blank, it's an issue.
But that's but you know, that's a no pun, but that's a sensitive subject anyway. Like it's one of those things, man. Like I think he touches on it in the special, but I think if that particular group did not include present or previously identified as white males, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't fucking matter. Like that's why it matters. It's because people who can, you know what I'm saying, maybe he said this, or maybe I heard this somewhere else, but people who can retreat to their whiteness, like it, it
They're gonna
doesn't,
have a safe
I'm
haven.
not saying they should be discounted because of that, but it definitely adds another thing to it because they have an ability to lean on something that, at least for our lifetime, has always been in a position of power, whether that is an illusion that we've fallen under or actually
Mhm.
you've actually seen it tangibly come to proof,
Right.
and I think that's why this whole there's an uproar because, like he said in the special, you know what I'm saying, I can say "n" with the
Nigga.
hard er 100 million times. No one has an issue with it. I can
Mhm.
do I can do slave skits. I can do crackhead skits.
Mhm.
Nobody has an issue with it. But I bring up this one particular community and there's an issue. Now, that being said, yes, it is each individual's community to say something or to be offended. So I don't hold them at fault for speaking up. I'm just curious as to why they make it seem as if it's for respect of the community,
Mhm.
and they're wondering why there aren't more allies when they haven't expressed being an ally.
Dope point.
You
Dope
can't
point.
you can't withdraw from
I,
a bank you never paid into.
and and see, for me, I feel like when you're dealing with comedy, somebody is going to get offended because you're making jokes. So
Yeah.
even if you don't specifically say black people like watermelons or gay people talk with a lisp or, white people smell like puppies when they get wet, even though you may not be saying these mean stereotypical things, you can say, oh man, my neighbor, he loves to cut his yard on Sunday mornings. Get a load of this guy. Then guys that cut their grass on Sunday mornings will get offended. Like there's no way around it to not say something that may quote unquote trigger somebody, since that's the key word in this generation. So I feel like when it comes to comedy, you need to judge the person based off of their actions off the stage, because for the most part on stage they are kind of living out a certain persona. And I don't know Dave Chappelle enough, but I don't see anything off stage that would lend it to believe that he is a bigot or a homophobe or a transphobic. With that being
Yeah.
said, there are a lot of people who are closeted homophobes, racists, bigots, sexist, misogynists, and all that other kind of stuff. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but it would be too easy. It's okay. Let's say like a Jeff Foxworthy or Larry the Cable Guy. It would be too easy for them to get on stage and make a bunch of black jokes and then go home and be like, oh, well, I'm not black. I'm not racist. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But then turn around and they actually be racist. Like, I don't think comedians are going to hide in plain sight with their jokes against another group of people. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't see them doing it. And again, to your point, when he makes jokes about black people or he does certain type of skits, everything is fine, everything is hunky-dory. I think a part that a lot of people missed in the special is when, not even when he was talking about the LGBTQ community, which again, I said I wasn't trying to talk about a specific stand-up, but in one of the parts where he talked about the Me Too movement and how he was saying, they should have stood up on their morals and walked the fuck out. And he was like, I know, I did it. I walked away from 40 million. And
Exactly.
until you're really willing to sacrifice stuff for a certain movement, it really doesn't matter.
You ain't
And
lying.
I think, that, but I love comedy that can make me laugh. I love comedy that can make me think. I'm the type of person, I have a very dark sense of humor. Uh, because in my head, I know or in my head, I live with the assumption or maybe the naivety that when people make these dark jokes, this is not a reality that they're living in. Or I will just say I live with the hope that this is not the reality that we're living in. Like, I don't think when somebody makes a joke about a handicapped person, they actually want to go exterminate handicapped people. I think it is just, sometimes it's just cheap laughs for somebody handicapped, or like, we've all seen the kids getting off a short bus or whatever, make jokes. But to me, those are kind of cheap jokes. But I appreciate somebody like a Dave Chappelle or Joe Rogan or like an Andrew Schultz, young and up and coming. They can make jokes about touchy things and make you kind of think and make it funny. And also, I'll say this to kind of close it out. We want to cancel Dave Chappelle, but what about the people that were standing up clapping with all these jokes? So if he's a person that expressed these views, albeit through comedy, and you have these people who are seconding his views, should you not try to cancel the people that were there as well? Because he's not the only one who has that point of view if they're laughing and co-signing.
But, and one thing that always gets me is, why do people look for things that upset them? Like, I don't go looking for the most racist town in a country. It's not something I go look for, because I know that doesn't serve me.
Right.
It doesn't serve improving my life. So I don't look for it. But I feel like these people they're inciting themselves by seeking out things that disturb their peace.
It's almost like they're looking for an oppressor.
It's like, man, and that is part of what baffles me with this whole thing. Is like, if you went to a show that was Dave Chappelle's show, I'm so confused. Because he speaks about current things.
Yeah.
So you're more than likely, if you think someone shouldn't be using current ongoings in their comedy, then why would you go to a Dave Chappelle show? Two, why would you befriend anyone who is sending you things, paraphrased, that would upset you?
Right. I lost my train of thought. Man, I had a good point, and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think you have to be careful with your peace. And I know people use the phrase "protect your peace" and all this other kind of stuff, and it can get cliche-ish at times. But listen, there are a lot of accounts that I had to unfollow on Instagram. A lot of accounts I unfollowed on YouTube because it was taken away from my peace. So
yeah,
I did that because I didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at this day and age, we have so much power at our fingertips. And like, for example, I am empathetic to kids that are getting bullied. I was bullied a little bit, not nothing major as a kid, but I know that nowadays the bullying has changed because of social media. With that being said, I think it is very important for us to let children, adults, anybody that is being bullied know you do have a certain level of control when it comes to that. You can either, one, not be on social media, which that's not fair. Everybody, quote unquote, deserves the opportunity to be on social media if they so choose. But also, if that is a place that is taking away from your peace, then it would better serve you to not be on there. But if you are going to be on there, you do have tools at the ready to make it to where you can block people, make your account private. There are things that you can do to help preserve your peace if you're going to be on social media. So I think it is important for us to push those tools that they have to keep their peace. Go ahead.
Fair is the opportunity, not the outcome.
Agreed.
So you have the opportunity to be employed, to have social media, to have peace. What you cannot dictate, and no man on this planet can dictate this, is the outcome. Like what comes after the finish line, the completion state.
Mm-hmm.
No being can dictate that. Like when you're born, you don't dictate when you're going to die.
Right.
You know you're going to die at some point. We all that's the one battle we are all on the same page with.
You know,
Death.
and you said you can't dictate when you die. Like I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you could commit suicide. Well, there are a lot of people who have failed suicide attempts.
Yeah,
So,
like
you know,
don't confuse correlation with causation.
there you go.
Just because you took a handful of pills don't mean that that handful of pills yesterday would have done the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the like life is a incomplete math equation. You can't solve it.
Now I feel like we need Sheldon from Big Bang Theory to come on the podcast and talk.
Well, actually, but yeah, man, like that's my thing with it, man. Like I applaud and I support anyone who feels disenfranchised on the planet, and I applaud them for speaking up. Let me be more.
Yeah, they got to. Like real quick, we need them to speak up, and we also have to be willing to listen. And
correct.
I always think about this when it comes to like the Me Too movement. It hurts. It actually hurts me. I feel bad that and I'll say we as men, because in this particular dynamic, the men have the power, even though I'm not a cisgendered 1% white male. We haven't given them the space to feel like they can speak out about things that are going on. And that's when the groundswell of the Me Too movement came out. Imagine if we had already lended them the ability to feel comfortable with speaking out about certain things. A lot of women possibly would have not had to go through some of the things that they went through.
Yeah. But that's, I think that's, unfortunately, that's in this present evolution of man, that is something that still exists, is we rarely create an environment for people to feel comfortable enough to be their whole self.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations to where you might not realize what you're doing to a friend when you joke about someone else.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like you might joke about somebody else and thinking that you're assuming, because you didn't think about it, assuming that you're on the same page, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all have been, friends for insert length of time. But they may be going through the thing that you may be joking on someone about,
Yeah.
It's one of those. Go ahead.
Now, to provide an alternative perspective on that, I do think, we don't have enough time to go to this point to talk about this topic that was on the list, but I definitely want to get to it on the next podcast. Use the word friend. I know that you and I, if we're having a conversation, and if you were to make a joke about something, I would know you enough to know whether or not, okay, he actually feels this way about something, or he's just making a joke for laughs.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that, like I said, that's a whole nother conversation. Like I think when you make a statement and the intent is to joke, although I know that person may be going through it, I would hope, and again, hope, all that other kind of stuff, it is what it is. I would hope that they would know that it was just a joke. But you are right. I've been in situations where I've said some things that I did not have any ill intent toward a person or a group or a thing. And you know what I'm saying, it kind of went left. But in this particular scenario, the person said something to me and I was like, hey, my bad, won't happen again. Left it at that. And I think at the end of the day, Not to pat myself on the back, but you need more people like that that are willing to take constructive criticism, especially when it's done the right way. Because I feel like a lot of people feel like they got to check people, and a lot of times, what is the energy is not destroyed; it is simply transferred. So if you come at somebody with a hot head, they're probably going to respond that same way to you, or just not give you anything at all, and then you're not going to get anywhere. So you have to be mindful of. Go ahead.
Which goes back to that whole environment, you know what I'm saying, of being comfortable enough to express yourself. Like when someone expresses themselves to you and you come at them with that animosity or that lower vibrating energy,
retrograde, baby.
Then you risk destroying the environment in which they first felt comfortable in. You know what I'm saying? So you could have gotten a complete story, but now you're only going to get the spark notes. You know, it's one of those situations. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a battle between being comfortable with saying things to those individuals and also being comfortable enough with yourself to know that it's your journey and it's not their responsibility to support you. That's their choice.
Right.
Forcing someone to support you is doing the very thing that 9 times out of 10 you're hoping to get.
Listen, when somebody feels forced to do something, 9 times out of 10 they're going to push back.
Yeah.
Because quote unquote gravity is forcing you down onto the earth, and the earth is pushing back against it. If you believe in gravity and the ball theory when it comes to the earth. But with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. Jamal, go ahead and say something positive to the people, make them feel good.
Be comfortable with yourself. Like that, I think that's the first step to being able to take your singular journey. Like you may be in a tribe, a group, a clique, a gang, a family, but we all have individual steps that we have to take in order for us to prosper as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Like our shoe sizes are different, our strides are different. So it's a different path.
Our gapes are different.
Gate. I think it's gate. G-A-T-E.
Gate.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, gape is
Stop. Stop.
That other
I'm well aware of what that is. I want to say this, and I literally just had this thought, so it may not come out as eloquent as it could, but it is okay to just be okay. I know in this world we live in, like like you got to be overly happy and bubbly and running around, jumping off the wall and shit like that. And then you also see other people on the other side of the spectrum that are always down and depressed or whatever the case is. But sometimes it's okay just to be okay. You know what I mean? And I would rather you just be okay than live a life of happiness or to feel like you have to have death and despair over something. So it's okay to be okay. And with that being said, let me go on and get that chill to close it out, Jamal.
Chill.